The Lakers lost by 30. What did the Cavs expose tonight?
Well, what we've been saying all year long. Look, the Lakers are always going to win regular season games. They're good. They're that good offensively. But when they play against great elite teams with athleticism, they get exposed.
LeBron James's return to Cleveland was supposed to be a feel-good homecoming, but instead it turned into a complete nightmare for the Lakers. The Cavaliers didn't just win the game, they dominated it, blowing Los Angeles out 129-99 right in front of LeBron's hometown crowd. What made it worse was that this wasn't even last year's Cleveland team, the one that finished first in the Eastern Conference with just 18 losses. This season's Cavaliers came into the night already sitting at 20 losses, looking inconsistent and clearly a step behind their previous level. And yet, despite all of that, they completely overwhelmed the Lakers from start to finish.
Every moment here, Luka launches a three. Now, the court's kind of funky there in Cleveland. There's a little shelf and then a drop, and Luka rolls his left ankle.
They made the Lakers look completely helpless, which raises a much bigger question. Was this night supposed to be a touching homecoming for LeBron James, or was it the first loud warning that his era as a truly dominant NBA force is coming to an end? What happened on that floor told a far bigger story than any tribute video ever could, and it's one fans can't ignore. Where you can direct a voice, create realistic dialogue, and so much more. Edit these placeholders to get started.
Energy in this building when the James family's here. We saw how the fans reacted to Bronny, and certainly this could be potentially LeBron's last game in this building. How would you characterize his impact on this city and franchise? Well, you could say something too.
This is Donovan Mitchell City now. This is Donovan Mitchell City now. When he come back here, we're going to make sure that everybody root for him like they did for him. So this is stuff.
Things got shaky early when Luka Doncic went down with an apparent ankle injury in the first quarter. He limped straight to the locker room and missed several minutes, leaving the Lakers wounded and scrambling. This should have been the moment for vintage LeBron, the leader, the scorer, the engine who carries a broken team through chaos. Instead, what followed was one of the quietest and most passive performances you'll ever see from a player with his reputation. There was no takeover, no dominance, and no real response. LeBron looked old, hesitant, and frankly uninterested in doing the hard parts of basketball. There were no consistent half-court attacks, no defensive pressure, and no physical presence for long stretches. He looked like a player simply trying to get through the night without embarrassing himself. And here's the most telling part. He realistically shouldn't have even finished in double figures. The only reason he did was late-game stat padding, long after the Lakers were down by more than 20 and the outcome was already decided. Where you can direct a voice, create realistic dialogue, and so much more. Edit these placeholders to get started.
This way, James just 11 points as the Lakers lay.
James held off Lonzo Ball, drew the foul, then immediately grabbed his left leg, muttering, and right on cue, karma checked in. While LeBron was padding his way to double digits, the night took an even uglier turn late in the fourth quarter of a total blowout when he tweaked his ankle. This wasn't an injury that came from battling in a close game, diving on the floor, or locking in defensively. It happened while chasing meaningless numbers in pure garbage time. When the night finally ended, the box score told the real story. 11 points, just 3 made field goals on 10 attempts.
And Cavs in Cleveland suffering their worst loss of the year. I was looking at this with 8 minutes left in the second quarter. The Lakers were up 40-30. They had a 10-point lead. They only scored 59 points the rest of the way in that.
5 of LeBron's points came from the free throw line, with the rest coming from 2 fast break dunks and a layup. No jump shots, no half-court scoring, no signature moments. In just 27 minutes, he finished with a minus 23 plus-minus, tied for the worst mark in the entire game. Let that sink in. Minus 23 in a contest that was supposed to celebrate him, his legacy, and his connection with Cleveland. This wasn't a heroic homecoming or a farewell tour moment. It was a stark reminder of where LeBron is in his career, and somehow the night grew even more ironic. While LeBron limped through the late stages, chasing meaningless stats, the real spark for the Cavaliers came during garbage time.
So weird and so cool and so surreal. You know,
my mom get to watch her son or grandson play in the NBA at the same time. I actually just started to think about how insane that is.
Bronny James checked in with the game already decided, and the energy in the arena shifted instantly. He jumped a passing lane, grabbed a steal, coasted down the court, and slammed home a fast break dunk that electrified the crowd. The arena buzzed, and he followed it with a smooth scoring run, 8 points on 3-for-3 shooting, all in just 8 minutes. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Bronny made as many field goals in 8 minutes of garbage time as LeBron did in 27 minutes of meaningful basketball. Let that one sink in. Like his father, Bronny already seems to understand the fine art of piling up stats when the game doesn't matter. But there's a key difference.
Spida as they win it 129-99. In his return, LeBron 11 points, 3 rebounds.
Well, counted.
After the final buzzer, Bronny James actually stood out, not for flashy plays, but for his sportsmanship. He stayed on the court, shook hands, and congratulated players from the opposing team. Simple, basic respect. But in the James household, that felt noteworthy. LeBron, by contrast, was already halfway down the tunnel when the buzzer sounded. No lingering, no handshakes, no nod to the franchise that drafted him, built him, and shaped his entire legacy. Just a quick exit, like a man desperate to escape a night that didn't go according to plan. Meanwhile, another storyline was quietly unfolding before tip-off. Reports indicated that the Cleveland Cavaliers were preparing to welcome LeBron back this summer, a potential reunion in year 24, right where it all started. And looking at the bigger picture, it's hard to argue that this wouldn't be the only move that truly made sense.
Holds off Lonzo Ball and is fouled and then grabs his left leg.
LeBron James has spent 11 of his 23 seasons in Cleveland across 2 stints, and his legacy is permanently tied to the franchise that drafted him in 2003. Ironically, his longest uninterrupted run was with the Lakers, 8 years, but the relationship has frayed. The Lakers reportedly weren't thrilled when LeBron picked up his player option last summer, locking them into a $55 million contract for a player who now saves energy, chases offensive stats, and often checks out defensively. The bubble championship aside, the LeBron Lakers era has been marked by injuries, roster chaos, and early playoff exits. Meanwhile, the team struggles in the standings, facing rising Western Conference teams and a looming play-in tournament, highlighting the fragility of their position. Returning to Cleveland now makes sense. The East is weaker, the Cavaliers competitive enough to sell hope, and LeBron could craft a narrative-friendly farewell in familiar surroundings. Yet his recent blowout homecoming exposed reality over nostalgia. A dominant, competitive Cleveland team ran the Lakers out of the building, proving that legacy isn't protected by tribute videos, box scores, or marketing. It's earned on the court. LeBron no longer consistently dictates games, especially against disciplined teams, and his leadership has eroded. His passivity in crucial moments sends a signal to younger players, coaches, and the front office that survival, not dominance, is the priority. The Lakers are caught in a bind, not bad enough to rebuild, not strong enough to contend, their ceiling constrained by LeBron's timeline. Cleveland represents comfort, image protection, and a controlled farewell, where the focus shifts from chasing rings to managing legacy. But the lesson is clear. Nostalgia doesn't win games, memories don't defend, and tribute videos don't stop opponents. In real time, the Cavaliers exposed the Lakers' weaknesses, showing that the league has already moved on. LeBron's influence is no longer synonymous with impact, and while sentiment prefers narratives, reality measures performance. The question isn't if his era is ending, it's how quickly the final chapter will be written, and whether it ends with excuses or acceptance.